welcome to Fernando's Amazing Podcast. I'm your host, Fernando, and this is my junior host, Gooseman.
Hi, we are two media entrepreneurs currently isolated on a trawler in international waters, avoiding persecution from various regulatory and law enforcement bodies after our fragrance allegedly killed an idiot with a pissweak liver.
Right.
That's for the new and recently new listeners.
Okay, so let's get on with the first segment.
Yeah, last episode we played you the first line of a song and asked you to write the rest of it. Using your suggestions, we finished the song.
Are you gonna do this from now on?
Just providing some clarity. I listen to some podcasts where the hosts explain the segment every time, so I thought I should do that at least this once.
Okay, here's the song.
Hey man, have you had a chance to listen to my podcast yet? Two dudes on an aimless quest, braving troughs both fast and wet. Sensual passion sheltered in the internet, buttery topics, smooth as silk. I am the breast, my words the milk. Dare you dream of such dairy treasures? Plead I, yes, partake the pleasures. We read and answer your dearest questions, heartfelt stories and weird suggestions. YouTube quality standards are at an all-time low. So my manwhore friend and I present our new and original show. It's alright as podcasts go. We forever sail the ocean, smoothly going with the tide. A pack of wild and gorgeous dolphins, always swimming at our side. We talk about dairy, we talk about goat. I think I have scurvy, we may die on this boat. Our sexy voices take away your breath. Every day we are closer to death. If you donate some money right now, we might make it to the next episode somehow. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Cool. You did the heavy lifting on this one. Well done.
Heavy lifting, yeah, I did everything.
So this is our 5th collab track.
Pretty soon we're gonna have a nice little EP here.
We're slamming it. They're quite short though, so let's wait until we have a few more before we make an EP.
And when we drop it, people who haven't been listening to the podcast will be like, what the heck is this? All these great tracks. How did all this good stuff come from a podcast? I better check it out.
Yeah, and we'll be like, fuck you.
We could have used your support earlier. Go straight to hell.
We were pretending to be nice guys last episode.
We are, just to those who don't betray us.
There's not many of them these days.
As usual, we got some incredible contributions from the audience. We do every time, and I'm sorry we can't use them all.
Yeah, thanks again everyone. I hope you're willing to continue this relationship of relentless exploitation.
Which brings us to the next track.
Okay, let's try one of those things where it's time-based.
Do you want to expand on that?
I'm thinking. Alright, here goes. Tuesday. I wake up tired. Everyone who pisses me off gets fired.
I'm not sure what to make of that.
So, listeners can expand on Tuesday, or they can start a new day. Thursday, something happens. Sunday, etc. You don't have to stick with days of the week. You could start with next week, last year, winter equinox, whatever.
Yeah, I get it now. Adding a twist, I like it.
Glad you caught up.
By the way, if you weren't around for the first episode where it's kinda obvious what's going on, we're not asking you to believe we make the music here and now. We do a bunch of takes and later on we cut up the best one and make music to suit it.
So it seems like we're wizards, and we are, but this is just sleight of hand.
So, just magicians.
We're illusionists, but just for your ears.
So yeah, listeners.
Oh right, please come up with more lyrics for my song, guys. Thanks, peace out, show's over.
Not so fast. So after we basically threatened to end the podcast last episode, we got some love from the audience.
About fucking time.
You listeners are an odd bunch. Your affection manifests itself in some weird ways. This comment from Raid Ho sums up the mood. I'm so happy to be alive. Thank you. Make another one, you putrid worm.
Ah, that says it all. Abrupt, yet poetic. Almost like a haiku.
Well, now that you've said that, user PassK has written us an actual haiku. This podcast is great. Please do not end it right now. It's snowing on Mount Fuji.
That's not a haiku. The last line has too many syllables.
Okay, well then I don't know what PassK was going for with the Mount Fuji reference. Explain yourself, PassK, you putrid worm.
Let me fix it. This podcast is great. It's snowing on Mount Fuji, thinking of the end.
Ooh, there's a sting in that tail. But I'll bet if you add thinking of the end to any haiku, it'll sound deep.
Pretty much. There's some cheats you can use when writing haikus. Always stagnating. Make another putrid worm. Thinking of the end.
Wow. Okay, I'll try a fresh one. It's 575, right?
Yeah.
I am sick of fish. Please flush the toilet next time. Death to all seagulls.
Right. Mine had a thread and a theme. You just bitched about 3 different things.
Alright, hang on. I did not sleep well. We are almost out of fuel. You hate my haiku.
And you just did the same thing again. I'll use your first line. Listen. I did not sleep well. Can't stop thinking of the past. Soon it will be dawn.
Oh man. Okay, I'll admit it. You are the superior haiku poet. Speaking for myself and user Pasquet, who I speak for, well done.
There's a segment idea. Write some haiku for us. We'll read out some of the best ones. It can be about us or you.
It can be faux deep horse twaddle like Fernando's if you like, but we'll only read out the funny ones.
That's nice.
So, we're obviously continuing with the podcasting, but here's our problem. We have to spend most of our time fishing and we need to save a bit for boat repairs, so it's going to be less frequent.
We're doing what we can, when we feel like it.
Yeah, well, I mean, the main thing is the song. Those things take a while. We could just axe the song segment.
We're not doing that. That's half the point of this whole thing. Plus, you do most of the work.
Yeah, you're right. But thank you to everyone who said some nice words about the podcast. We're going to keep going for you guys.
I'm going to keep going because you yell at me if I don't.
We'll say about 1 a month, and if it's longer, it's because we have better things to do. Let's move on to the question segment.
Do you want to explain it?
No, people can figure this one out.
We should make some segment jingles.
That's a good idea, actually. I'm not going to say I'll do it in case I don't feel like it, so let's just come up with one right now.
Questions.
Questions.
Answers.
Okay, I feel energized. I'd like to start with a real doozy from Elephants in the Forest.
That's the only way to start anything. With a doozy.
There seems to be a bit of sexual tension on the boat. What part does your wild night of passion you two shared a few years back while both cross-dressing play? I'd like to add a question of my own, Fernando. Why have you been telling people about that?
Hey look, I give a lot of interviews.
I thought we had an understanding that the incident Elephants in the Forest refers to would stay between us. I'd almost managed to forget about it myself.
Look, I'm sorry. I actually don't remember doing it. But hey, it was probably me.
You don't remember telling anyone, or you don't remember sucking me off at Tony's?
Telling anyone.
Well, there is one other who knows.
Randy wouldn't tell anyone about that. Look, it was me, okay? A music journalist asked about you. And she did that thing I hate, which you're doing right now, where the person I'm talking to just stares at me and waits for me to fill the silence. Next question.
You haven't answered this one yet.
Oh, come on. I can't help it if you desire me.
Okay, let's move on to a far too similar question from Radical Lazarus. Gooseman and Randy have had their bodies swapped by a wizard, and the only way to switch them back is to have sex with one of them. Who do you choose? Gooseman in Randy's body, or Randy in Gooseman's body?
I hope the questions get easier.
Choose wisely.
I am more attracted to Randy.
More? So you are attracted to me?
Think of it like there's a scale that starts at 0 and goes to 100. Anything with a pulse scores at least 1. Randy's like 94 for me. You're an 11.
That's still pretty high.
Not really. A hole in the door scores about 4 or 5. 11's a bad score.
I can live with it when you put it like that.
It's because of our shared experiences. We've been through so much together. If I met you for the first time, you'd be at least a 30.
So it's my personality that makes me such a fizzer.
You're acting like a butthurt teenager. Ask me a question and you'll get an answer. You're an 11. Deal with it. So anyway, I'm going to go with sleeping with Randy in your body, providing she was into it.
Oh yeah, why's that?
Because Randy would not appreciate her body being used without permission, even if she wasn't around at the time. I don't like to think about what she'd do to me.
You're not worried about what I would do to you if you slept with my body?
No, because you're probably the one who brought the wizard's wrath down on us in the first place.
If that was the case, then I guess that's fair. This next question comes from The Ledge. What do you two do in your free time nowadays when you aren't recording podcasts or fishing for sustenance?
We've got an old Cube TV and a VCR. I go through our collection. Casablanca, the Maltese Falcon, Mogambo, all the classics. I don't know what I'd do without that sweet Cube.
In my spare time, I've been writing a novel.
Don't tell them about it, they'll click away.
Hey, some of our listeners are bound to be interested in the written word, even if you're not. I'm keeping it close to my chest for now. It's got action, romance, passion, lust, desire, all the good stuff.
Any intrigues?
Nah, not much of those. It's a straight shooter.
Okay.
You truly don't care about my novel, and that's okay. It'll find an audience someday. This is a tangentially related question from Watermelon Toast. Dear Fernando and Gooseman, what are both your opinions on fan fiction, respectively? Would you read some about yourselves, or even write some of your own? You're both amazing.
Oh, that's nice, thank you. But I must disappoint you. I don't read a hell of a lot. And fanfiction is something you read, I'm guessing.
But you'd read fanfiction of you, right?
Probably not, no.
As for me, the only fanfiction I like is Twitter accounts that write fake episode synopses for shows.
I'd read some fake episode synopsis.
Okay, let's try it. Listeners, write us a short synopsis for an episode of our show. Not this podcast, but a TV show. It can be us at the Manwhore Industries office, or on this boat, or on Pleasure Island, whatever. If down the track we get a TV deal, which is a completely plausible and likely event,
it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, if we end up using a suggestion, we won't credit you. I'll read out the best.
Real short though.
Yeah, like, Gooseman contracts diphtheria after Fernando wipes his nose on his towel. Randy destroys the TV after answering every question on Jeopardy correctly.
I'm too passive in this story. Where's the conflict? Where's the passion?
Okay, we'll add some spice. Gooseman can't attend a date with a hot babe after contracting Fernando's diphtheria. Lying on the couch, sweating to death, but too lazy to see a doctor, he swears revenge. Fernando is embroiled in a cat and mouse game with government agents and has to save the country from, the host of Jeopardy. This is hard.
Maybe the hot babe is a government agent, and the host of Australian Jeopardy is the one who has diphtheria.
Yeah, whatever. Let me start fresh. Gooseman starts making racist videos to get views, while Fernando,
smacks him in the face.
Oh, alright. Well, there's our conflict. Tick that box. What does Randy do?
She kicks him in the balls.
Ah, well, that's true to her character, I guess. Alright, I think the listeners get the idea. Write a short synopsis for a hypothetical Fernando and Gooseman standard half-hour format episode in the comment section. I'll read it out if I like it. Just make it better than mine, which shouldn't be hard.
And short.
Yeah, like no more than 50 words. Dante Edward has some criticism for us.
Get fucked.
Hey, dial it down. I can't say that I'm satisfied with the answer you gave Ace Gaming's question in episode 5. He asked what your favorite music is to work to, but your answer didn't touch at all on personal preference. Is there a music selection that you personally enjoy performing to more than other available options?
The question was about what music I play when I'm with a client, so it doesn't matter at all what I want. Only their desires matter. I think I said classic Eurodance. I actually really do like that, whether I'm on the clock or not. It's uplifting and reminds me of my youth. A lot of it sucks, but it's kind of funny, harmless sucking. Not like today's music.
Today's music sucks in a far more sinister manner.
Yeah, there's malice in what people are putting out these days. Just sexualizing everything.
Which is not what we do at all.
We do it better. So you gonna answer?
I'm more of an old school rave kind of guy.
Hell yeah.
This is from Wacky Wabbit. Question from a random someone who will be forgotten after this question.
Oh.
Fernando, there are 2 buttons and you have to push one. The first button kills every goat and the other one destroys your manhood forever. Which one will you press?
Ah, the old choose between 2 hard options question. The second one tonight.
Okay, it's a pattern. But don't stop writing them, listeners. They're good to riff on.
This one's easy though.
Oh yeah?
Yes, of course. I don't put myself above any one species.
Even seagulls.
I like seagulls. They're my desperate little friends. I would destroy my manhood in a second for them. But obviously I value goats far more than seagulls, so it's no contest.
Okay, so would you choose to destroy 100 seagulls or your manhood?
I'd destroy the seagulls. I'd feel real bad about it though.
100 goats or your manhood?
I'd destroy my manhood, for sure.
Okay, maybe it's simpler to say, what do you value more, 10 goats or 1,000 seagulls?
Can we move on? This can't be much fun to listen to.
Oh, we will, as soon as you answer. What are you hiding?
Fine, kill the seagulls. Fuck 'em. You happy?
Yep, this one's from Saint Ocean. Dear Fernando, with the rise of Japanese sex robots, do you fear a good, honest, working man-whore like yourself may be out of work soon? P.S. What is your favorite material to jizz to?
Well, you might be wondering why I'm on this boat, when I am in fact the world's greatest man-whore. Why aren't I man-whoring?
You're supposed to answer questions, not ask them.
Well, I disagree with the premise. I'm not a good, honest working manwhore like myself. I'm an ex-manwhore who tried to get out of the game, and who, with the way things are going, may well end up back in it, right where he was 6 years ago.
Okay, so focus on the rest of the question. Will sex robots put sex workers out of work?
I've never tried one, but if they're really good, they'll decrease demand, sure, which will mean less work and less manwhores. It's happening all over the world in many areas of expertise. Maybe just the really good guys will still get work. I don't fear it. I'll get work if I want it. But new guys, maybe you should learn to code sex robots.
Yeah, because learning to code is like future-proofing your career. In the future, there will totally be enough coding jobs to employ 80% of the workforce.
Hey, look, I don't know a lot about this.
Yeah, that's fine. What about the last part of the question?
What was that again?
P.S. What is your favorite material to jizz to?
That's a strange thing to ask someone. Can't I keep a little shred of privacy?
This is a tell-all podcast, remember?
I've been very open. Also, you should think of our lady listeners when you select these questions. Do they want to hear about what some guy jacks off to?
Ah, okay. So you don't want to be involved in an excessively bro podcast. That's why you choose to pod with me.
You answer first. What do you jerk to?
TNA, man. TNA.
Wow, that's cool. So you're a guy, and you like TNA. Fucking tell me more.
Alright, I'm starting to see your point. Hey, let's move on.
What? No, I'm just getting warmed up on this topic. What about brown snake?
No, I don't like brown snake.
How about yellow snake?
No.
Ah, so it must be white snake.
Actually, that is my least favorite snake.
Well, you're pretty boring, aren't you?
Yes, I am, and you've made your point. This related question comes from Hail Jewbacker. Here's a serious and very thought-provoking question to Fernando. In the future, when mankind would rather buy baby on tubes in their closest store and having intercourse with their dandy sex bots, what will happen to the manwhore legacy?
That is a very similar question.
It assumes a lot more. We're buying baby on tubes.
The legacy of the manwhore is already assured. Strong, bold, brave practitioners of the oldest profession will always outshine mere machines. For the discerning few, at least.
Nice. This question comes from Mr. Dinges. Hi, big fan of the show.
I like this guy.
I got a question. Do you guys have an own apartment, or do you actually live at Manwhore Industries?
Well, we had the whole building to ourselves when we lived there. I chose a large office with no windows for my chambers so I could get some sweet darkness going.
I had 2 amazing corner offices. One was my bedroom, one was an actual office that befit the CEO of Manwhore Industries.
We had a pretty decent studio set up on the top floor, and 13 functioning bathrooms to choose from.
Yes, I hope we can return sometime. We're renting parts of it out. We have a few weirdos running weird scams on the lower floors. Not good tenants.
Ah, no.
I did have plans to renovate to attract a better kind of business, but I never got around to it. If I had, it might be generating a decent income for us. Nothing's been updated since it was constructed in the late 70s, and since then that part of town has turned to shit. The elevators are dead, the foyer's filled with broken glass.
It's a fixer-upper.
I have a suggestion here from Crazy Insane 500 that will segue us into the roleplay segment.
Oh, what's that? I'm confused. Better describe it.
It's the segment where Fernando roleplays. Once again, I'll be your DM.
We need a jingle.
Alright.
Dungeon Master. Kinda boring.
Roleplay! So this is Crazy Insane 500's suggestion. Dragons can effectively breed with anything. There's a book called The Book of Erotic. Fantasy compatible with D&D 2+, and the Kraken quite often has a charisma score of 15+ for some reason, making it able to seduce effectively. Fernando has plenty of ammunition to run a campaign.
You want me to be the Dungeon Master? But I don't know the rules.
Doesn't stop me.
Oh, well, okay. Maybe next time. Don't put me on the spot like this.
No, not this time. This time you're escaping the Chapterhouse. So last episode you got kidnapped by Glycon cultists. You wake up. You feel fuzzy but otherwise healthy. You're lying on a purpose-built platform angled at 45 degrees. You feel the cold embrace of steel around your wrists, ankles, and groin.
Okay. Wait. Oh no. Oh no.
That's right. You are chained securely to the platform, which you now see is some kind of altar, and yes, you are wearing nothing but a chastity belt.
Oh, golly.
You're taking this well.
Come on, let's get this over with.
So what do you want to do?
Well, what can I do? Okay, I try to escape the chains.
No, you can't do that. No dice roll required. You can't break them with your strength.
Well, what's left of me? I start weeping.
Okay, that's something. You start sobbing brokenly. Tears stream down your face.
What a way to go.
You're not dead yet. There's heaps of stuff you can do.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I want to shit myself.
Well, I guess you... I guess I don't need a dice roll for that. Right. You shit yourself. The shit fills your gleaming, polished chastity belt and oozes out and down the side of the altar. The pungent stench of your excretions fill the chamber, which you haven't bothered to investigate.
Well, I think that covers it.
So you want to wait passively for your fate to come to you. Now you're doing the thing where I feel obliged to fill the silences. After some time, you hear steps and voices. The door swings open, and in comes a high priest of Glycon, a middle-aged, powerful-looking man. Accompanying him is the cultist who kidnapped you, Genevieve.
Her again. I want to say, hey, how's it going?
The stench of your mess wafts over them. At the same moment, your cheery greeting assaults their ears. They look at you in disgust.
Ha! Point to me.
The priest says, "Are you sure this man is suitable? We want recruits who are perverse, but not insane." Genevieve narrows her eyes as she studies you. "Do not underestimate this one, sir. He is well versed in sin."
I want to say, hey, don't you know it's rude to talk about someone as if they're not there?
The priest straightens up. "Silence, worm! You are as yet uninitiated, so right now you are nothing. You have no rights here, and frankly, I doubt if you are suited to join our organization."
Why don't you take this chastity belt off and find out, big boy?
The priest sighs. "Well, I can't very well initiate you as you are now. Come along, Genevieve. Help me clean him."
That's good. Now, I want to prepare an erection.
Okay. Keep in mind we are broadcasting this.
Come on, you set this lame situation up. What, you don't think I could?
Oh, I know you could. Fine. They wrinkle their noses and roll their sleeves up. The priest produces a gleaming key, which he fits into the belt and pries it off, revealing your powerful boner. He gasps in admiration.
I want to stab him in the eye.
I should have known. You know you're still chained to the table.
That's why I've got to do this. Trust me, this is the only way out.
Well, you can't. He's not in range.
Okay, I'll persuade him. I say, hey priest, I am your chosen one. See this gleaming rod here? It is the pathway to Glycon himself. Come closer and stare down its eye. You will find your deliverance.
Nice spiel. Roll the d20. 13. Okay, well, he's skeptical but sufficiently curious. He inches forward, grabs your shaft and peers at the top, closing one eye as you would when you look through a telescope.
Stab him.
Jeez. Alright, well, go on then. 18. Okay, just as he is at optimum range, you unleash a powerful thrust. Your hog pops his eyeball and scrambles his brain. He collapses in between your legs and onto your shit. Your boner is strong enough that he stays in place. Genevieve screams in horror.
Well, sounds like that would be commonplace in a Chapterhouse of Glycon. We ought not to be disturbed. I want to lock eyes with her and say, grab this dweeb's head and move it up and down my shaft.
Yeah, this is crossing my red line. We can't publish this.
If you cut this section, it's the last episode. Got it?
Oh man, I'm a hostage on my own show.
This is my show, and I want to skullfuck this guy.
Well, you need a willing partner, and Genevieve is cowering on the far wall and reaching for the door handle.
I say, stop! You brought me here to lead me down the pathway to sin. Now that I am here, I find that you cannot match my, libidinous gusto. If you have nothing to teach me, then help me skullfuck this guy or release me. Otherwise, you are shaming Glycon.
She says, I see now that you have walked farther down the path of sin than I will ever care to. Very well, I shall release you.
You're weaseling out of this. I'm talking to you, not her.
Yep, you got me. She pulls a key out of the pocket of the priest and unlocks your hands and feet. If you'd bothered to look around the room, you would have seen that your clothes are on the shelf on the wall. You're free to go.
And I will. With my newly freed hands, I grab the dead priest's head and literally fuck his brains out. Do you want me to roll?
What the hell for?
For performance.
You want to know how well you fucked the skull? Be my guest. I haven't really defined your sensual abilities regarding corpses on your character sheet, but if this was a living person, that would be a successful roll.
Well, go on. What happens?
Well, you fucked the dead guy's head. He's still warm. Keep in mind the whole room smells like shit. Genevieve is huddled in one corner, vomiting.
Okay, when I'm done, I want to put on the priest's robe and leave.
Great, you put on the guy's shit and blood-stained robe. Fortunately, this is the Chapterhouse of Glycon, so it's not unusual to have a robe stained so. No one challenges you because you look terrifying. You stride out of the building, well done.
Freedom has never tasted so sweet.
Hey, I know what this is about. You don't want to roleplay anymore.
Just know that I'm not going to play by your rules anymore. But let's see what the audience thinks, eh? Perhaps this will be their favorite role-playing segment thus far.
Yeah, let us know if you will be reporting this podcast and unsubscribing after hearing about Fernando's lovable antics this evening. Whatever. I guess it doesn't matter.
That's the spirit. Well, we've gone pretty long. Switch the mic off.
Do a proper outro first.
Hey listeners, we want haikus, fake episode synopsis, and more questions. And of course, I guess the main thing is the song. Write some song lyrics for us.
Yeah, let's hear that bad boy again.
Tuesday, I wake up tired. Everyone who pisses me off gets fired. Yep. So, thanks for listening.
Bye.